peeps, it's Great White making it happen again today with some more Portal Nights. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. I'm having a great day myself, and today's a pretty exciting video. We're going to revisit one of our old builds that we did. So you guys may or may not remember the original elevator that I had made in Portal Nights. So that's what this is right here. This is the first one I ever made, and it does work, and it's not too bad. I did end up refining it a little bit over here. We kind of reduced some of the blocks used. It's still a little bit complicated though, I would say, a little bit complex for what it's doing. I've actually refined it into a better build. The way it works is basically we just take a signal and we send it up one side and send it down the other, and those are connected to an AND gate that basically affects whether or not these trapdoors are open, so they open and close in sequence. The problem with this is that we could actually see it better with this one. In order to go up, we hit this button, and if we watch, we can see the signal go up, but then we have to wait for the signal to make its way around to this side and back up the other side again before we can hit this button to reverse it, to go down the elevator. And I've found out a way to make this more efficient and just all around better and easier to understand. So let's go ahead and jump into a new test world, the new clean test world, and we'll build a new one. I'll show you guys how it works. All right, here we are in our new fresh and clean test world. There's some stuff in here I had been working on a little bit ago, but we don't really need to worry about all this stuff. We're going to start a fresh thing over here. So when we create the elevators, there's a few things that are going to stay the same. Of course, like the basic concept is still the same. So what we're going to do is let's do like a 6 tall. 5, 6. So we'll do 6 tall. We need 2 wide so we can place the trapdoors, and then the trapdoors we're gonna place on the side of that, just like I've done now. And we're gonna get rid of these blocks on the back. Oops, I didn't mean to get rid of these. All right, so now we have these just kind of like laying out in the middle of nowhere. They're gonna open like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to place blocks on the sides just to make it look a little bit supported. Also, it's gonna give us a place to put our logic blocks. Although it should be noted, you can put these logic blocks anywhere. It doesn't matter where you put them technically. It's gonna work no matter what, but yeah, you could put them like underground all the way over there. You could put them like anywhere at all. It doesn't matter. We're gonna have to hook them up, so I try to keep them close because, you know, it's easy to remember where they are, and also I don't like having to run across the map to hook one thing up. So we're gonna line each side with a series of delays. So delays on the left side and on the right side. And what we're gonna do is, instead of having like AND gates and we're looking at like the connection from like one side and the other and like all this stuff, we're gonna simplify this by using something called an SR latch, which I've talked about in my logic block tutorial series, which you guys can see on my channel. If you go check that out, there's a playlist for it. An SR latch is just 2 NOR gates, and all you do is you send the NOR gates into each other. So this one goes into this one goes into this one. And we literally do that for all of these, all the way up the side. And now I'm kind of regretting making it 6 tall because we're going to have to do this 6 times. Oh, oops, didn't mean to do that. Get connection, apply, get connection, apply, get connection, apply, get connection, apply. And the last one, apply and apply. Okay, cool. So basically what we want to do is we want to have a button press, for example, for the bottom floor, that when we press will send us up the elevator, and a button to go down, obviously. So let's go ahead and put our buttons down here. Let's grab a red one for going down and a green one for going up. So red and green. We'll put the green one right here. We'll put the red one right here. And now we won't need these again. Now we need these button presses to be like a short amount of time. So we're going to use delays again. Let's grab a delay and put it on either one of these. And we'll take the connection from one of the buttons, put it into the delay above it. Let's set it for 0.5 seconds. And then we're going to get the connection from the delay and put it back into the button. So there's a little bit of a loop here. So now if we press this, it only presses for half a second. Versus if it's not hooked up, it stays pressed forever. But we only want it to be pressed for just a moment. So let's get this unpressed. And now what we're going to do is we'll copy this over here to the red one. So it also only stays pressed for half a second. And so if we test this, yep, half a second, perfect. We're going to want another delay up here. And we're going to send the button into that delay again. But we're not going to send it back into the button this time. We're just going to use this delay as the kind of like stepping point between the buttons and sending the signal up the elevator or down the elevator respectively. So basically what we're going to do is when the button gets pressed, we want to take that signal and we want it to go in a chain up the left side. And for this one, we want it to go in a chain down the right side. So let's start with the going up. So this button gets pressed, it sends a signal to this delay. This delay is going to be however long we want. Let's stick with like 1 second. And then we're going to take the signal from this delay and send it into the elevator. So we're going to start with this chain of delays and we're going to apply connection, get connection. And we're going to set these ones to 0.2 seconds. You can go 0.1 seconds, but I've found you get stuck in the elevator sometimes when it's on 0.1 seconds, and going 0.2 seems to fix that. Although it's not quite as nice and smooth looking, it does solve the problem. So let's get connection from this one. We'll apply it to this one. Let's put this down to 0.2 seconds. Get connection, apply, 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 0.2 seconds. Just like that. And now when we press this, it's going to go from here to here and then right up that chain. So that's the first step. Let's go ahead and do that do the same thing on the right side for going down the elevator. So we have this button press going into this delay. Let's get a connection from that, and it's going to go down this chain of delays. So let's go to the top one first, apply. We'll put this at 0.2 seconds. Actually, when we go down, going down doesn't matter. You can't get stuck in the elevator when you're going down the elevator. So these ones will actually put to 0.1 seconds. It's going to be totally fine. It won't make a difference for going down. So we'll go ahead and keep the chain going. Get connection, apply to the one below it, switch it to 0.1 seconds. Get connection, apply to the one below it, 0.1 seconds. And we'll continue this chain all the way down. Just like that. Okay, cool. So we can hover over these just to make sure that they're all connected properly, and sure enough they are. So if we press this button, it goes to this delay. 1 second later, it goes right down this chain of delays. So now we need to actually get the thing working so that it functions properly. So right now, let's go ahead and hook up the SR latch to the doors. Let's just pick one of these. It doesn't matter which one, left or right. Let's grab the right one, I guess, and we'll hook it up to input number 2 for the trapdoor immediately right next to it. So get a connection from this, put it into number 2, connection from this, put it into number 2, get a connection from this, put it into number 2, and just like that, we're good to go. So now what we want to do is basically, if we look at the SR latch, this right one is currently on, we'll say, and when the signal is on, in that this right one is lit up, the trapdoor is open. When it's closed, or when it's off rather, the trapdoor is closed. So what we want to happen is when we press this button, we want to send a signal up this chain of delays, and that signal is going to turn this SR latch off so that the door closes. So we want to say when we get a connection from this, we want to put it into here because that will cause the SR latch to turn off. Basically, whenever you send a signal into one of these, it turns it off and switches the other one on. That's basically what happens. So what we want is we want to have this turn off the trapdoor as it goes up the chain, and that causes the doors to close in sequence, which is what propels us up the elevator. So if we get these hooked up, I should now be able to press this button, and 1 second later, it should go up the chain. Sure enough, it's much simpler, much simpler than our old design. And now if we do the same thing over here, we've got this one that goes down that chain. We just want to take these and put it into turning the SR latch back on so that it will open the trap door. And to turn it on, again, we're just putting it into the opposite one. So we used the right side previously, we're going to use the left side this time. And it doesn't technically matter like which ones you hook up as like the on or off side of the SR latch. You just want to make sure that, well, when we're going down the chain, we're closing or opening the doors. When we're going up the chain, we're closing the doors. That's all that's really important here. So it really doesn't matter which side you do or which order you do it in. You just want to make sure that obviously you're getting the right result. So I could like invert all this and it would still work just fine. But now if we press this red button, that'll send us down the elevator. Now, what you might be thinking is that, okay, great, Wyatt, this is pretty cool, and like we've got a working elevator, right? But the problem is that I press this button and I can't get to that elevator before, oh no, it started going up before it could get to the elevator. That's bad news. Well, the cool thing about the way we hook this up is by using a second delay between the button press and the chain of delays, is that we can come to this kind of in between delay, this middleman delay here, and we can change the time on this. So I can switch that to 5 seconds, and let's say 5 seconds before it goes down. And by doing that, now we can, well, hit that, and that'll give us time to get to the elevator. And there we go down. And if we want to go up, I can hit this button now, and it's going to hit that delay. It's going to give us 5 seconds before it forwards the signal, and then bloop, right up the elevator, just like that. So it's a pretty cool little design, nothing too fancy. And if you say you wanted to have, yeah, let's say you wanted to have a button up here, right? Let's go like that, I guess. And then we'll just put like this. I guess you'd only really need to go down the elevator from here, wouldn't you? Well, whatever. Let's just say we wanted to have 2 buttons, one on the top level as well. This would be kind of pointless to do, but we're going to do it anyway, just for the sake of showing you how it would be done. Say we take a green and a red button again. We'll put our red button over here, our green button over here. We can go ahead and grab the delays one more time. Okay, so we want to, so just to explain, with the delays, the reason we're going to have one delay just for unpressing the button is that when you have delays that unpress buttons, if you start having that delay do a bunch of other things too, other than just unpressing the button, sometimes it can make it kind of glitchy and the button will not unpress. So that's why we're using one delay just to do that. But now we want to say if this button gets pressed or if this button gets pressed, then we want to send a signal to this delay and then activate the elevator. So all we need to do is exactly what we said. We need OR gates. If this or this, well, that means we need an OR gate here. And we'll just say if this button gets pressed, or if this button gets pressed, then we'll send a signal into this delay. And same thing here. So if this green button gets pressed, put it in the OR gate, or this green button gets pressed, put it into the OR gate, then that will forward a signal into the delay. And don't worry, the reason this is going off right now is because when we unhook the delay, when there's not something in here, it continually pulses over and over again. And that's what caused the elevator to activate right there. So if you see it go off once on its own, don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just because when these don't have an input, they continue to pulse over and over and over again at the interval of whatever time they're set to. But now we should be able to, when we're at the top of the elevator, hit this red button. We have 5 seconds to get in position, and then bloop. And once we're down here, the nice thing about this elevator is, you remember on the old one, we had to wait for when you went up the elevator, the signal had to go back down the other side and then back up the other side again. It wasn't very good logic that we were using to make that. This is much simpler and much more streamlined so that once you go up the elevator, there's virtually zero wait time. Virtually zero wait time before you can just go back down the elevator. So pretty easy, pretty convenient. Now, we could actually hook this up now with multiple floors. We could do multiple floors on this elevator. And I think that would be a cool project to work on. I think I might do that in the next video. I think we'll try and make something like that work. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to see that in the comments section. That'd be pretty cool. But hey, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you guys like this if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And oh, one more just reminder, if you guys made it to the end of this video, go over and check out Fat Pikachu's channel. He's doing a build contest for the for the month of April. So it's almost over, actually. We're almost out of time. I'm building something for that contest too. I'm not going to be competing. I'm gonna be a judge, but just for funsies, I built something for that contest that I think you guys will really like. So make sure you guys, if you're interested in participating, we're almost out of time. Get building your pirate your pirate build, whatever you're doing, and go show Fat Pikachu some love over on his channel. But I appreciate you guys. You've been a pleasure as always, and I hope you do have just the best kind of days. See you later, dudes.